Welcome to Straight Talk TV, the show that cares about you, where the information comes from the people to the people. And here's our host, Tony Brown.
Thanks everybody for joining another edition of Straight Talk, the show that cares about you. And we say where the information comes from you, the people, to the people. It's all about the people. But before we get started, please stand in your heart and in your mind for the Black National Anthem, performed by Johanna and Steve McCoy.
Lift every voice and sing till like an heaven ring, ring with the harmony of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let us march on till victory
Yes.
is won. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun, about a day begun. Let us march on till victory is won. Let us march on till victory is won. Is won. Is won.
Oh my goodness. Go ahead. Yes. Oh my, it's so appropriate to start the program with marching on to Victory One, and it is quote unquote Black History Month. We have some folks coming to you, some brothers, and let me put a shout out to all the fathers. Hope you all had a wonderful, wonderful Father's Day. And those that it wasn't your children, but it's been a mentor and loving on somebody else's young man, Father's Day to you too as well. Appreciate you. We have an attorney come speaking with us. We have a young man that's dropping his sounds. We have a young man matter of fact, he's here now. Nick, can you come on? He's at a soccer game right now with his young man. Please talk to us a little bit, Nick, what you're doing and about the event that you got going on. Fathers for Life. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Nick Wright. How you doing, sir?
Hello, my name is Nick Wright. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we got you. Come on.
Can you guys
Yeah,
see me real good?
yeah,
Sorry
you're
about this. I
good.
just
You're all
parked,
good.
hadn't taken the kids and another lucky dad to go see the Thorns play San Diego Wave.
Okay.
First time taking my kids to a professional soccer game, so they're super excited.
Okay. We want to talk about Nick, the Fathers for Life, how you got it started. Then we're going to talk about the event because I know you're on the move.
Okay, well, so real quick, Father's Life started after I had my first son.
Yeah.
It was an eye-opening experience, and I realized, me not growing up with a dad, how much I wanted to be a dad, but then also noticing how my wife was involved in programs for like first-time moms and all this type of stuff, but there wasn't that much help for dads or even like talk or support, and it's just like the stigmatism, like I seen like it's okay for the dad not to be around more than it's okay for the mom, but the child needs both parents. So
Yes.
I end up finding a nice, safe place for guys to meet because I know the Portland demographics, can be tricky. So I
Yes.
want people, number one, because, as men, we always gonna find a way not to do something. You
Right.
know,
Come on. We got
so I tried to find a safe place. You could bring your kids. It's before most kids' nap times,
right.
and I provide more food than just coffee and donuts. Like we be having pizza, wings,
Right.
Panda Express,
Okay.
barbecue, soul food catering, all different types of stuff. So it's like, you get a bite to eat, we sit down, we conversate, I link people up with resources and support, and
Right.
I'm a certified mentor.
Okay.
So I try to cover all bases. So that's pretty much how the group started, like pretty much on the fly, like grassroots.
Oh, this is powerful. Mr. Engineer, can you pull a flyer up where Nick can talk about his event? I know he's got his son with him. He's on the move. You can pull your son in there. We can say hello to the camera too. It's all good.
Hey,
There he is.
John.
Hey, 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 hey. How you doing, young man? Yes. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Headed to the socket. Engineer, can you pull that flyer up where you can talk about the event so we can get that to the people? There you go. Go ahead, Nick.
So this was the Oaks Park event we did yesterday. We end up supporting 10 dads, over 32 kids with
Mhm.
free ride bracelets. I didn't have that much funding. I had some help with Healthy Birth Initiatives and Multnomah County. But I guess news got out, and a whole lot of dads and mothers were interested for the fathers and their lives, and people wanted to come on down. So I invited people to come on down. I'm sorry I couldn't get more free bracelets, but more people showed up than what I expected. A lot of people are still
Beautiful.
calling my phone, interested in the group, interested in help, support, and resources, and I'm pretty happy because, I started this group in 2023 with just one person showing up or no person showing up, but I'm hosting it every month, kind of like Will Smith and I Am Legend.
Right.
Somebody gonna show up, and if they show up, I'm here for them.
There you go.
And now more people are starting to show up, more things is happening. So I just want to get more word and awareness out, so that way we can help get more funding and do more good.
Well, we appreciate you. We know you're on the run, going to see that soccer game, and we appreciate you stopping in. Straight Talk is your platform, so anything that we can do,
Yes.
let us know. We get the information out to the people.
Okay, you guys gonna get the inside scoop from now on.
Okay, we appreciate it. We appreciate it.
I
Appreciate
appreciate you
what you're
guys.
doing. Proud of you. Enjoy yourself. Okay.
Thank you, brother.
Okay. Yes. When we go to the news, when we go to a break, when we come back, we're going to be joined with attorney Ernest Warren. Powerful program that young man's doing.
It is. That's wonderful.
Yes, it is.
I almost took my grandkids to Oaks Park just for the hell of it yesterday.
Yes, 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 yes. Mr. Engineer, can you go ahead and pull that break? There you go. Okay. Then we're gonna come back with Ernest Warren. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Again, you're joining us with Straight Talk TV is the show that cares about you, where the information comes from you, the people, to the people. And it's all about the people. We were just sharing with a young man, Nick Wright, and he's got a program going on called Fathers for Life. We're going to have the email coming up. Tap into his program. Tap into his program. Support that, what he's doing. Right now, we have an attorney, Ernest Warren. He's going to be talking about, oh my goodness, the voting rights. The voting rights. And we're gonna have Ernest Warren, are you there?
I'm here.
Okay, how you doing? How you doing?
I'm
Thank you.
doing good,
I
Tony.
know you got a busy schedule, but we appreciate you tapping in to us right now. And where are we gonna get started? We're gonna get started with the votes. First of all, let's share a little bit about your lineage and how you became an attorney, just a little bit so people can kind of get a feel of why you do what you do.
Thank you. In Portland, Oregon, I'm one of probably 110 first cousins called the Warren family.
Okay.
And my dad had 14 siblings that pretty much most of them moved here to Portland, worked at Esco Steel. My
Okay.
dad became an insurance broker. And one day he asked me, there are three professions in life. What do you want to be? Doctor, lawyer, or attorney? I said, wow, let me think about it. And then this was 1965.
Hmm.
Perry Mason came on the television, pulled up in a Lincoln Continental
Right.
in a suit and tie, and I said, "Dad, I want to be that."
You're
And
gonna be
I've been
that.
driving, and I've been driving a Lincoln ever since.
Ever since. Let's tap into a little bit about. We just gonna jump right into this voting right because people, it's happening right. It's been happening in front of our eyes, but a lot of us haven't been seeing. Now, it's it's all the way to the Supreme Court and they're making rulings. Let's talk a little bit about the Supreme Court ruling.
Thank you, Tony. First
Yeah.
of all, I got to give you proper respect because 3 years ago, you had me on your show to talk about the Voting Rights Act.
Mhm,
And I was wondering, why does Tony want to talk about this?
mhm.
And it really was set in stone that we had our rights as people, African Americans. Voting Rights Act of the Section 2 allowed for districts to be formed for federal voting purposes where people of color could have a vote at the federal level, and we could vote for our own Congress people. Well, just 2 weeks ago, the Supreme Court struck down Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act of
Yeah, Tony.
1964. I'm sorry. And it was crazy the way they voted. It was voting 6-3. So all these votes that are coming down, and this is the most important period for the United States Supreme Court, is the last weeks of June. And so they're going to come out with some more crazy decisions next week as well. But the only three that voted to keep the Voting Rights Act was Ketanji Brown Jackson, Sonia Sotomayor, and Elena Kagan. All the rest of those six people, including Clarence Thomas, who is a person of color, voted against the Voting Rights Act and they struck it down. And the first thing that happened is all of these states, again, we're talking about the states that were traditional slave states, have now started to vote to redistrict to where the people of color vote doesn't mean anything.
I think we have a video. Elisha, can you zoom off the green screen for us for a minute? Off the screen, going to the green screen for a minute, Elisha. Can you hear me? Yes.
What do you mean green screen?
Oh, just mute yourself and also off the screen. There you go. Yeah. And now we can pull up that Supreme Court ruling. I mean, the Supreme Court photos where Attorney Warren can kind of explain to the different judges that he was speaking about. There we go.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Elijah. Thank you.
Thank
Okay.
you. So the woman right next to Clarence Thomas, the man of color, is Sonia Sotomayor. On
Okay.
the other end, the woman is Elena Kagan, and the woman of color standing above her is the most brilliant person that's ever been on the Supreme Court. And I'm not just saying that, Ketanji Brown Jackson. I'm saying that because of her grades at Harvard Law School, her practice on the bench. She's never, when she was in a circuit court of appeals judge, her opinions didn't get overturned. Just a brilliant woman. Who she's standing right next to is the Chief Justice, Justice Roberts. And then the rest are all, oh, excuse me, Justice Roberts is in the middle.
Hmm.
I didn't call that right.
Okay.
He's seated in the middle,
Oh, okay.
and the rest are just justices um, that have decided over time, and they had been dismantling the Voting Rights Act
Mm.
for 15 years to come to this plateau where they've totally destroyed it.
Now, engineer, can you pull up some of the language that kind of puts emphasis on what they have changed and how it's going to affect not just us as black folks, but everybody? There it is right there. Can you touch on a little bit of that, Attorney Warren?
Yes, so I can give you an example.
Okay.
So what happened was in the state of Louisiana, they had always, after 1964, the Voting Rights Act, they had made it such that the district around the New Orleans area could always have um, people of color, black, red or yellow, be in government, in federal government, city and state government, and that was their voting district. Well, they knew now that the district um, had also grew in the Baton Rouge area, so they were going to make two districts so people of color could be in the Congress back in the back at the the United States Capitol, and have more power within that particular state to
Mm.
because that power as a U.S. House representative member brings financial resources to that area that can help people of color. Well,
Mm.
the Supreme Court knew that and struck it down. And so now they only have this one district. And now all of these states that were um, slave states at one point are now trying to go and redistrict all of the voting areas to kind of marginalize people of color's votes. And that's really what happened. They're trying to find ways to remarginalize our vote.
Now, right now, there's primaries coming up.
Yes.
And let's speak about how important it is for people to go to the primaries and how important it is to elect people that are going to uphold the Constitution.
Thank you for saying that. Well, I think you mean the midterms.
Oh, yeah, midterms. Yes,
Yeah,
midterms.
yeah. And so what we're hoping and praying is that we can put people that represent our views
Mhm.
in the United States House of Representatives and the United States Senate so that they can vote. As you know, in the last several years, they have had gridlock where they can't pass any laws that help anybody but the most fortunate people in the world. And so, for example, last year they passed overwhelmingly a tax that means that rich folks don't have to pay,
Mm.
while we all pay taxes and nobody pays more taxes than I do. So that's a shame that they can't pay their fair share. And that's the way that they voted. And so we are trying to get it, and Republicans have the majority. Now, they're I mean, if it would have been fair, nobody would have ever voted like that. But it was unfair. And
Mhm.
they're trying to give an unfair advantage to people, and they're trying to oppress poor people and disadvantaged people. And poor people aren't just black people, poor people are white people too. There's more poor white people than anybody else, but they are confused about how they should vote. And so what they should be voting for is they should be voting for in a way that they get some benefit from it. And that's not what's happening. So we hope to get out our vote so we can vote for people that will benefit our we need jobs, we need food, we need protection, and we're not going to get any of that the way that things are going now.
And speaking of that voting right, I was sharing with somebody the other day, and they said to me, "Well, why are they changing everything?" I said, "Well, one of the reasons is that it was never a law; it was an act." And I did my best to explain the difference between an act and a law. Can you touch on that a little bit for us?
Well, act is a law that the Congress and the Senate has passed. So, on the United States level, you go back to Washington D.C. to the state's capital. You have a House and
Hmm.
you have the Senate,
Okay.
and these bills come out of these houses and senates, and they're voted on. And if both House and Senate vote a majority vote that this should be the law, then that's an act. And then it goes to the president, and he can veto it or
Mhm.
he can accept it. In 1964, Lyndon Baines Johnson, the president of the United States, was presented with a bill, the Voting Rights Act, and it was passed into law. And that was the law since 1964. And now, some years later, almost over 50 years later, these they've struck it down. Excuse me, over 60 years later, they've struck it down. And that's horrible that,
Mhm.
where we had some comfort zone in voting. And the reason why the politicians have always known that the pendulum swings conservative, the pendulum swings liberal. And they knew, and this is kind of the last stand for conservatives with this pendulum swinging. That's why we have President Donald Trump, a conservative, as the president. The Senate has a majority of conservatives, and so does the House.
Mhm.
So, out of 435 representatives in the House, the majority are conservative, and they're bullying the liberals around.
Yeah.
And something, and then there's questions. Why, some liberals some liberals are conservative and some
Mhm.
liberals are radical. I mean, not radical, but they go way, way, way to a place that everybody doesn't agree upon. So it's interesting. It's interesting. And we want people that are going to represent us. I want people that are going to represent people in Northeast Portland and in Gresham that happen to look like me and happen to be people of color. And we don't get that type of representation all the time. We do in Portland. I
Okay.
think we do. And I think we get that back in DC, but that's not the case in Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Tennessee. These are places that have 30% people of color and they don't get educated, they don't get represented, they get treated like second class citizens. And that's what the conservatives, in my mind, are trying to keep it that way. They're trying because they hold the wealth, they hold the money.
Well, now, if I remember reading something and I was sharing it with the person we were talking about the voting right and law, there is something in there that says every 10 years it has to come back and be voted again. Now, what amendment is how if it's an act and it became a law signed by Lyndon B. Johnson,
Hmm.
a president can come and veto it. So
Hmm.
is there an amendment? Because I read something that said every 10 years. So that seemed like when they started this whole process.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. What they thought, well, what people look to the future. I mean, they never really I mean, they barely enforced the Voting Rights Act. You hear about people being turned away at the ballots down south. You got to come and bring your birth certificate, your driver's license, your picture ID. I mean,
Right.
there's a whole bunch of ways that people have been disrespected about voting rights and civil rights. So yes. So what happened was they were trying to revisit it, this particular portion of it every 10 years
Mm.
because they knew, both on both the conservative side and the liberal side, they knew as long as it was needed because of racism that that they were going to have to keep renewing the law. You
Yeah.
know, in this case, the Supreme Court says, "Oh, we're doing away with that."
Period. That's it. That's
That's
it.
it.
As I
Yeah,
said, that's a wrap. But
yeah.
now, what's the brighter side? Because I wanted people to know that there is a brighter side to this. If now I'm not telling you how to vote, people, okay? But you might want to vote for someone that is looking at the Constitution and that's looking at the voting right so you can have a right to vote. You,
I think that's a good point.
we don't have to count jelly beans no more in a jar.
I think we have to really look at who the
Yes,
candidates are
yes,
and then vote our conscience on
yes.
which candidate is going to benefit us and benefit the people around us. Because we can't, I mean, what's happened in this last tax thing is we benefited all the billionaires. And for what reason?
What reason?
Don't they got enough money? I mean, shouldn't they pay some taxes? I mean, why do we have to pay all the taxes? I mean, it was nothing fair about that. But you got to understand when you get up and on the Congress and the House and the Senate and the president, they get all kinds of benefits.
Yeah.
And so, and those benefits, they don't look back to us people here. I mean, when they're getting their benefits, they're having their generational wealth established and sometimes people say I don't care about what happens,
Mm,
So we have to really look at the candidates
mm,
and make an informed and educational decision. Let's turn back to 2024, 2023 when we were voting for president. We had Kamala Harris,
mhm,
we had Donald Trump. Now we would think that an educated, a lawyer, U.S. senator, a great business person would be like Kamala might be able to be the president of the United States. But 65% of white men voted for Trump. 55% of white women voted for Trump. That's it. Game over. It
mm,
doesn't matter we voted for Kamala Harris, but it didn't matter if we didn't have one of those two demographics, white men or white women voting for her. And so what is the reason why white women wouldn't vote for Kamala Harris is the question that the Democratic Party has to answer.
yeah, yeah.
Why was that? I mean, they voted for Barack Obama,
Mm, yes.
and he, great lawyer,
Two
same
terms. Yes.
same age as I am, fought for the people,
Right.
you know, beautiful wife, great. She's a great lawyer. What was it about Kamala? And then what was it about Hillary Clinton? What was it about those two women that were from the Democratic Party? If roles were reversed and we had a woman running for president from the Republican Party, would that same demographic had voted for her? So I think that's something that we got to figure out because that's the big issue on the national level is how the white women are going to vote.
Right. Absolutely. And it's interesting that you mentioned that because before anyone viewing this program, there were people fighting and dying for us to even sit and talk about this, for us to even have the opportunity to check off or mail in the vote. So, people, I want to share this thought with us. When we vote, let's maybe consider not just voting only for ourselves, but for the future. Because what it looks like right now, there will not be a democracy. And I think we as Americans, if you will, have gotten so used to the democracy part of our system that we can't or don't think that we can live or have to live in a place where everything is run by a dictator. But people, if we kind of open our eyes up a little bit, it's happening. And Dr. King and those folks, they thought about this and they said, we're going to take it and we're going to make it a federal law. But as you notice, they're starting to pull that back and say we're going to put it back in the state's hands. Now, I think I'm kind of on point a little bit here, Attorney, kind of the process that's happening right before our eyes.
You're absolutely right. I think the big thing with King, and he was there
Hmm.
when Lyndon Baines Johnson signed the Voting Rights Act, but then they assassinated him when he started to push further for economic benefits for coming to the people of color. They assassinated him.
Yeah. And people, sometimes the umbrella is painted or put up to say it's all about Black people's rights or Hispanic rights or quote unquote people of color rights. No, folks, this is about everybody's rights.
Exactly.
This is about everybody's rights. If they take one person's right, what makes you think they're not going to take yours?
Exactly.
They have to have a group they start with. That's the psychological profile of it all. We start with a group that people like, oh, it's just them, it's just them, it's just them. And then it's another group. And I'm going somewhere because recently they just touched on what's the law dealing with detainees?
Yes. Yeah. So what it was, so there are two laws, and the exact same vote
Mm,
empowered the president to do whatever he wants to do.
mm,
And it was 6-3. The same three women voted against it, and the same six people voted for it. And with respect to detainees, what they say is they don't have to make a decision whether this person needs to seek asylum in the United States. They can make a decision and exclude them before they enter. So what happens is that many people come from places where you could imagine what it was in South Africa during apartheid. So many black South Africans would come to the United States seeking asylum. Okay, because they were just being treated like slaves. Now you can't even come here to seek asylum. You have that decision has to be made outside of this country. Number two, they also voted that the president doesn't have, with respect to Haitian immigrants,
mm, mm,
Haiti, unfortunately, is the most crazy place in the world right now because they can't establish government, and the whole country is ran by gang members.
mm.
So if you speak against the government, you could lose your life in Haiti. So people who have spoke against the government. I actually know people here in Portland that have received asylum because they spoke against the president, Aristide at the time, for example. And now they said, up, if you're here on a temporary visa from Haiti, and I can't remember the other country, you have to go back because President Trump said so. And they said that it's President Trump's prerogative to make these type of this is the president's prerogative to make decisions on immigration. So that's where that ended up.
Attorney Warren, as they say, we could chop this up some more, but but I know you're busy. We really appreciate. I would like you to come back, and I want to follow this bill, people, because if they start extracting one group of people, what's going to stop them from extracting another group of people? And if they just pull you up on the streets, You don't have time to get you the cell phone, your ID. They just whisk you away into and put you in the cell and you're gone. But we can come back. I want us to follow up on these voting bills. I would like us to follow up on these detainee bills because it just keep the.
Well, and they
Go ahead,
got
sir.
one more, Tony. They
Okay,
got
go ahead.
one
Yes.
more. They got one more that we're going to hear about this week,
Oh my goodness.
and that's birthing rights, birthrights. So
Birthright.
remember, there was the big thing about President Obama,
Yes.
who happened to be born in Hawaii.
Mm.
But us citizens, we might take a job abroad, and and if we took a job in France, and my wife and I had a child over there, the birthright is that if your parents are citizens, you're a citizen.
Yes.
And they're about to vote on that we're going to hear the ruling on that this week.
Oh, please come back. We appreciate you. And be- your knowledge is valuable, invaluable. I mean, we can't put a price on the information. Then value. Is that the right way to say it? It's so
Yeah.
valuable. Yes. Okay. Because we appreciate what you're doing. We appreciate the people that poured into you to do what you're doing, to keep pouring into us, so we can share this information to the people. Because everybody don't have time, or they do. It's not their space or their lane to read all the law books, to go into the courtrooms. So you're so valuable to us. We
Thank you,
appreciate it.
Tony. You too. You get
Appreciate
the word
you.
out. You get the word
Thank you.
out.
The young, thank you. I appreciate it. The young man that's coming with us. He has a gift, and what we've been talking about, he takes his gift and put it into music. This is Black quote Music Month, and he's going to share his goods. His name is Elisha Hassan. He's going to be coming on after the break. Thank you, attorney. Appreciate you. We'll talk to you soon. We're going after the break. Yeah. Thank you again for joining another edition of Straight Talk. You're on your iPhones, your pads, at your homes. We appreciate it. We do not take it for granted that you share your time with us. We were just speaking with attorney Ernest Warren, and we're talking about the voting rights and some of the new laws that are passing, just to give us information so we understand and have a better outlook of what's happening in the process. It is quote Black History Music Month, Black Music Month. We have a gentleman. He has a gift. And before we bring him on, I want to bring on one of his videos to introduce him, so you can see a little bit about his gift. Elisha Hassan, you're going to be coming on, sir. Mr. Engineer, can you play one of his first, just a little bit of his first video? It's powerful. He got some powerful message gift. Mr. Engineer, can you play what? There you go. This one is titled Beautiful.
You so beautiful. You so beautiful. These lady chicks, they make come. Sell them, make a phone. Chose one to fit the vote. Figure better hit it home, so I tell her high lows to the soul, baby. Take as long as you can pray. That left chain sugar cold, man. I ain't playing slip stay. Bro, you do that for him? And if it's sad, just goes. True, she can ball the sea. Man, that China dog said I had to shake her, couldn't break her no more. And she on normally, make it sad, make it think about a lonely. But I signed in, so it's time in. Let me chime in, legs strapped like I said. Make a soft pop for the head. Now my cute ties in the red. Not funny style vibes in my bed. Couldn't find you, donate my shit or some tennis wear, a little street hustle. Tryna name change that tree now. Leave a brother in the street with some peanuts. For what love you choosing. These chains ain't been off of me, baby. Let's call me and leave a little something on the side that a brother can love. You was bad and fine when I thought I could choose. Must have been in my mind when I thought I could pull. Why you checking the time?
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Elijah Hassan. Oh my goodness, because Elijah Hassan.
Hey, man.
Oh,
Hey, I need your engineer to unlock my video button. He locked it.
okay, yeah. Yeah. Oh my goodness. We were just looking at the beautiful, oh my goodness. Gifts. We're gonna share a little bit about, man. I wish I could get into your mind on that one. That was a powerful one. It was beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah, we just want to represent.
He said, huh?
Well, I
So
want to
nice.
represent beautiful women all around the world visually
Yeah,
as much as I
come on.
could.
Yes. Yeah.
And but it's really the blues, man. We doing these contemporary blues, man. We singing about getting your heart broken, man. You start off with your player attitude and everything, but then the heart gets attached, man. And then if you find one that ain't true to the game, or at least true to the same thing,
Right.
it could go bad.
Right.
And even them experience, hopefully we learn from them. But I was trying to really just keep it authentic in a sense. You see a lot of artists and entertainers, playing a role of, too cool for school and, untouchable,
Right.
whatever. But at the end of the day, I think being vulnerable resonates with more folks because that's a more truer story for me. So it
Yeah.
was a nice way to keep it real. And I just really just went with the music. The music produced by CN Beats, really
Okay.
good friend of mine, producer. And I was just going with the music with my original flow and scat to the freestyle, and that's
Yeah.
where it went. That's where the energy and the emotion was. So when I really got down to refining the writing process, I just kept it true to that original energy.
Oh, it's 100. Yeah, respect for real. Share a little bit about for our viewers. Who is Elijah Hassan?
Elijah Hassan is an artist.
Yeah, come on. Yes,
Just a multidisciplined artist. A lot of
yes.
people know me for photography. Some others know me for film. Um, but music I've been doing quite a long time. But a lot of people don't know that I'm also a writer. I do literature as well. And I know I told you a little earlier that I have a story, a book now, a novel that I adapted from one of my screenplays. Been working on it for 10 plus years. It's just kind of been on the side bubbling, and I'll give it to a couple friends to let them, you know, beta test it for me and give me some good feedback. And I've gotten great feedback, and it's ready to be released now. But like I said, I'm a multidisciplined artist, man, and I'm in a really good city that supports artistry. Different organizations, different institutions, even like, Portland Community Media. I've been a producer there for it. It has supported me as well. Matter of fact, that's where I kind of like honed a lot of my editing skills, as a filmmaker, kind of like started there. I had some other schooling as well, but helped me out a lot.
Speaking of that, we sick, boss.
Be sick, boss. Be sick, boss.
Uh,
Big influence
those
on me.
back, right. You was honing the skills in then, huh?
Yeah, well, I mean, live band is really truly where it's at for me. That's why I thrive to do, but also having a controlled environment where I'm making beats and can really influence exactly what's happening. That's a whole nother level of production, and that's really what was going on with this project here, the Rose Peddler project.
Okay.
Like I said, most of the beats are seeing beats, but a number of beats are mine. I'm also working with my bro, DG, Gary Hassan,
Okay.
a beautiful, very talented sister by the name of Jenna Lay.
Okay.
And, got a couple Wiz is on there. Stu Jackson is on there. Um, uh, John Wesley Petts is on bass on a couple tracks. It's just a lot of talented folks. Tony Hill, um, and I look forward to this next project even stretching out more with really talented musicians that I know from this town and beyond.
Right. Now, when you talking about your gifts and sharing there's a program that you're sharing with your gift. I want to touch on a little bit about that program. It's that curriculum that you got set up. I want to
Oh,
that
yeah,
out. Yes,
sure. I
sir.
mean,
Yes, sir.
well, the line of curriculum, the EHP series, that's it's EHP is an acronym for Elijah Hassan Productions, but
Okay.
I wanted a way to do a couple things. One is to make my music available beyond the bounds of just streaming or people going to play it at these streaming services or even CDs or live. I wanted it to live beyond that. So, a lot of my lyrics, well, actually, most of my lyrics are really packed densely with metaphors and, I'm telling stories, I'm being historical, and it's just, they're really rich.
Right.
And so I decided to build, curriculum after a number of songs, and then looking at the videos as well, it's just a lot going on. So I decided to do that as another level or option to the curriculum. And I've created curriculum for the third graders, middle schoolers, high schoolers, and advanced film college students. And I'm still building the catalog. Some of them are, like I said, based on some of my short films. Some of them are based on music videos. Some of them are based on songs. And one of them is based on my experience getting into crafting bills for the legislature.
Oh, come on.
Uh,
Yes, yes.
and so, yeah, I just want to give young people some of the experiences I had when I was coming up. I remember, when I first got into photography, I was at Irvington School.
Mm.
But also I would see films as a kid in like my social studies class, like The Red Balloon or uh, The Lottery, or and it would just blow my mind, and I wanna complete that cycle.
Yes.
Being a filmmaker, I have an opportunity, I think, to do this. So I want to share my work with young people and have them, you know, ponder on it, and for the sake of media literacy, but also just for that, that rigorous engagement in a creative way.
Right. Respect, respect. Yeah. If you, Mr. Engineer, we could, can you pull up another one of Mr. Hassan's gifts? And we're going to talk about it a little bit. Yeah.
From the wagon train to the Jackie Lane, little GTA, and the game ain't changed. Terror, error, no shame for the fame, rather mirror all things in the flame. So much coming, fumigate, Stanley Kubrick filming, trauma, we was all in pain. You don't want him, can't change in the brain. Now he on the front page, out with him. Inspect a fruit in the cops, to take a piece of lead from his hand to the head and go. Cold as a mama hunk, you put your name out the phone book, showing off Terminator. Now you're on the floor, sliding in the cold reality, wasn't fake on the call, cause it all day, every day, hit day, sick day, trick day, with day, cream fade. Slow up on a beer pump for a killer. You can handle on the home post, you better tell him. These brothers wanna haul past you, slipping eye on the moon when you're standing on the cage shaking. Wonder when the wound cook. Partner put the chain on your wagon with the ball hitch. Psycho, now you can't play dumb. Big man, wink that sound, don't blink that. Coco, Bobo, Bistro, 6'4", Cholo, Popo, they are. Remember when them cowboys, Indians, Pilgrim, and Minutemen? Now they wanna act like the ones in the hood, only one who. I don't think so, people don't creep, they root so. Tina wouldn't think though. Now my eyes on the tag on the 10 toe. Never living hesitant. I bought the cottage and the house with the river bench family. Cause you can't really feel it with a fist pump. One more education in it all in. Following the premonition, dying in the streets in the cut. Where they sit to the bomb, hitting and trip, click. Killing and I'm chilling in the pulpit. Kinda hard sitting in it. Boys fella can't feel me slanging it. Burn hate, making all these junkies. For real about American steel. Campers had warring in the field. Fearing that. Now Jack and Jill's on Hamburger Hill. With a flag on the seal. Rolled Timmy in the truck when they found him. The bartender knew him. Another hit in the face. Took a town round the neck with a straight face. Like some AI, laid them out for the fools. Team Antioch, peekaboo. Reminiscing on some pounder bro. But who behind the counter though? She laid them all on the floor and her sister went. You thought she gon' sit there and watch you play blacks against the whites or not?
Oh my goodness, Bang. Talk to us about Bang. Huh? Ooh, huh?
It's all there. You know what I mean?
Yes,
You know,
yes,
this idea of bang, which is usually associated with, gang violence or gun
mhm,
violence.
yes.
But when you look at the act of shooting, or whatever, sending ordnance or whatever, attacking someone, being violent towards someone, it didn't start with the gangs,
All
and it
right,
didn't
come on.
stop with them either. You know, what I mean, they're doing
Yes,
it all over the world. Depends on who's framing it. And
yes.
I wanted to really, get into that idea. And man, the curriculum packet that I built around it really goes heavy in on it.
Okay, okay.
And so yeah, it was just something that came to me with the music. Originally, it was a sound. I had made a beat, and it had this Chinese instrument, kind of like a boom. It made the sound, but it
Okay,
sounded
okay.
like it was somebody saying bang, but it was a
Right.
really kind of surrealistic, and then that's still in there, but it's lost in the mix now.
Right,
I'll probably
right.
come out with a remix where I use that original beat that I had with the original bass that I played. I
Okay.
mean, this has been refined, it's still my beat. I made that beat.
Yeah.
Uh, and Stu Jackson is actually playing piano on it, and my brother Deep G, Gary Hassan, is playing piano on it as well.
Okay.
But yeah, man, I was just like I said, just kind of expanding the definition as we know it of bang.
Right, right. Bang, bang. We have another one. We're gonna see. We're just giving y'all a little sample of this gift. This.
We got
Oh
a lot.
man, good. Mr. Engineer, can you put up another one of them videos? We're gonna talk a little bit about that one too on the other side.
Living on the water, Billy gotta go. Dobby used to be confidence by that cold, that froze, that can't gain weight. Copper where you sleep, but don't stay. If you room against us on the soldier, we can't take chateau. Should I look out and go for two? Take it anywhere, cool there, baby, then change with the breeze. Today I'm cool till tomorrow, thank to think of. Forget sleep on streaky me, babe. Get dressed black, kick it with the cool bro. I'm on the back of the car, can't live hungry, crazy. All the caffeine, cocaine, phone, can't fake. So long, broke along for days. Who knew? Still be working with my broke tooth and kung fu. Sit on, went on, look for, get on. Just how prone was it for the flip phone? In a casket, right lie down. People believe, oh, they lost it. Comatose, overdose, withdrawal, missed call. Try life, snake eyes. Shooting just round the corner, shooting file in the condo. Mr. Fondo, Mr. John Doe's cool. While setting the fire to the food, making the life out of blue. Taking the time, used to roll, making it fly like a gold bird decide not to sing. Opposite blind, make you free. Crackling ties so we can find time to line and blind. I represent off and on this day. Baby, wanna roll with the coldestness. If it's not your own man's own this. If Sting King, now it's on us. Destiny had to mold us. Bitch, stand gold and the lips been told just to play right through this game. As a female die, go figure. Roll the dribble and die, click the trigger. I ain't tripping, go down. Night looking for a leaky dad. Night doing to a click on. 70 days on the couch, keeping his brain in the pie, in his tank.
Whoa. Oh, talk to us. Talk to us.
Yeah, Six Sailors, man.
Woo.
Yeah, I had as much fun making the video to that as I did really writing it. And once I realized how the lyrics swim with the music,
Right.
and then man, I had some incredible artists on this as well. Again, my bro Deep G's on it, playing that weird keyboard. I mean, I made the first beat with that coarse howl, that oh, and then the sick
Right.
time beat. I did that all by hand. And it's a
Mm.
real sick time too. I think it's like 48 or something like that. But it's I love that. I love it. It's jazz to me. You know what I mean? And when I hear those type of beats, I really can go into it lyrically with my flow. Um, but that's to me, this is another example of some contemporary blues. I think it's really just blues. A lot of people don't feel that, but I actually do. And I'm really talking about homelessness.
All
I'm
that,
talking
yeah.
about the world of houselessness and the dynamics of it, but also the video just kind of once I start editing it, it took on a life of its own in regards to the story. And you really got to check it out, man, from the beginning to end. There's a lot there. And if you go to the Shine Runner YouTube channel,
Okay.
which has all my videos on it, and but you got to be careful because there's two. There's one that my streaming service is set up, for my songs, which basically has pictures of the album and it plays that. But
Right.
the Shine Runner official channel, that's my channel. It's a
Okay.
number of videos on there. You got live footage, you got all the other stuff. That's where I keep all the latest stuff. So if you go to the website, shinerunner.com, or
Like
that's
that. Yeah.
Shinerunner, SHINERUNA.com,
Okay.
or ElijahHassan.com, Hassan with one S. You can find the videos there as well.
I saw that you got right in it with you covering yourself up like you was homeless.
Oh
That piece.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I wanted to sit down on the street and
Uh-huh.
yeah, I brought a pillow and I
Yes.
was sitting in some, I wanted my persona to blend with what I was talking about.
Right, right.
So, I found a pallet on the side of a, rusty fence next to some
Right.
garbage and that was my set. You
Yes.
know, just trying to go for the full effect of coming from that situation of being out there, man, because it's a different world. It's a whole community of folks out there.
Yes.
There's a culture, a street culture, and it's certainly diverse.
Yes.
You got a lot of reasons there are people on the street. It ain't just one.
Right.
So anyway, I just wanted kind of to get into that as a springboard for that song, Six Sailors. And
Yeah.
like I said, the curriculum behind it is even heavier, man.
Well, we got to come back and we'll talk about that curriculum because I want people to understand and how to get involved with that curriculum. You said it's from what, fifth graders all the way up?
Fifth grader, yes, middle school, high school, and like I said, advanced film courses in college. And I
Okay.
actually just so I wanted to get something for younger people as well. So I created a set for third graders, which is
Okay.
dealing with how laws come to about. So it's funny you had the attorney on earlier. This is
Yes.
kind of like gives examples of how we got laws, how they came up in the past, and what kind of like, especially if we're talking about the environment or, for instance, smoking laws. There was a time where you go into a restaurant with your kids and everybody else, you got somebody sitting right across from you smoking cigarettes.
Exactly.
But until there's a critical consciousness among the people, but then you have to have a critical consciousness and motivation of the leaders, because sometimes the people are conscious, but our leaders have been bought off by
Mm.
super PACs or I mean, maybe one of them got Epstein. You know what I'm saying? That whole thing was about leverage. You know
Oh
what I
my
mean?
goodness. Absolutely. Yeah.
Epstein's whole situation, his whole thing was about leverage, so that they could sway politicians worldwide. You know what
Yes.
I mean? That's
Was.
a heavy reality, and that's why you're probably never gonna see that because there's too many people that are actually really involved in that, and they cannot afford for that to ever come out. That's why they had to kill his ass. You
Right.
know,
So
you
that's
know.
why he said that's why
But again, but the point I'm getting back to
right.
is that
Right.
that the process works.
Works.
But right now, the system and those who are supposed to be empowered to support the process are rotten.
Mm.
We used to joke along about kangaroo governments, dude. When you have corruption in multiple levels of government, be it the judiciary and the administrative and the legislative, dude, it's a wrap, man.
Oh
You know
my
what I
God.
mean?
Yeah,
The power, yeah, we still have hope, we still have time, but in the meantime, you really get to see how low you can go. You really do. And I think if people are paying attention instead of just putting their head in the sand,
mm,
we could actually come up with some laws to prevent this type of thing from happening again. But
mm,
uh, again, it's going to have to be that critical mass of consciousness among the people on the ground, and as well as the representation in office.
Right. Well, we got another video that we want to pull up, and this one here, folks. I think this is about microwave the mind. This is
Oh,
deep.
microwave brains. Oh, yeah.
Microwave brain. Come on, Mr. Engineer.
3 flags.
Microwave brain, wanna feel pain before it behaves.
Shine when I take
If it don't kill it right away, it's okay.
Tony Hill deep chill.
Microwave brain, success is aimed at material gain.
Smoke and see
With the microwave brain, it's all the same, like the blacks and gays.
3 flags on your SUV, but you ain't free. Attitude when you're looking at me, but you can't see. True lies right in front of your eyes on your TV. New war and policies is for democracy. What good is democracy from hypocrisy, and who pays the fees for dropping bombs when the world's poor so we can watch them bleed? If I don't chill it, your democracy is watching me, but that ain't free. And I'm just supposed to sit and cheese while the Arabs are seized on the lock and key. Ain't that the way you treated me? And the natives and the Japanese. You debate, you disagree, but you ain't free. Microwave brain, wanna feel pain before it behaves. And if it don't kill it right away, it's okay. And with the microwave brain, success is aimed at material gain. And with the microwave brain, it's all the same, like the blacks and gays. Don't drop bombs on community and call it insurgency. Cause one more US colony didn't make Iraq free. And no such thing as liberty without economic sovereignty. And no chance at democracy with free press and the lock and key. And free press ain't fake news, and free press don't break the sales shoes, and free press don't try to convince you on who's good and who's evil. Free press don't emit the fog, they don't provide pom-pom for lapdog. Free press do provide the fact. Rational mind decide who lags and who jacks and who backs the no big contract and who stacks and who max and who acts like the corporate rich deserve the best tax. Shift the burden on the working class and can't believe that they on your grass. To protest your grotesque ways and means, they nightmares your American dream because your microwave brain
Wanna feel pain before it behaves. And if it don't kill it right away, it's okay. And with the microwave brain, success is aimed at material gain. And with the microwave brain, it's all the same, like the blacks and gays.
Ooh, look out, Michael. Listen, soldier, that's on point today.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I wrote that song over like 15 years ago.
Ooh. Bro,
Yeah,
Ed,
this is
Ed,
just the latest. This is the latest rendition of it. I repurposed the music,
yes,
and basically redid the music. That's my beat as well.
yes.
And just now that we have these video creation tools, as a storyteller, as a director, and a filmmaker, man, it's a really beautiful time right now creatively for me. If you have a vision and you can imagine, oh
Wow.
man, it's a really good time right now for creatives.
I mean, I was looking at the different points that you had in the video. It's what's happening right now today.
Yeah. Mm. That's a sad reality.
Yes. Because watching you every day, are you really free? You said we get so focused. Now, people, stay tuned to Straight Talk TV, okay? Now you get so you get so focused with what we are what we're consuming,
Mhm.
that sometimes it becomes difficult to determine what's real and what's not real.
Oh, no doubt. You don't know what you're looking at online.
Yeah.
It comes down to now really the condition of your heart.
Mm,
If you have a pure heart, you will have an ear and a feeling for what is true. You
Okay.
know, you were just like, oh, that ain't right. You know what I mean?
Okay.
You don't need a book of 1,000 volumes of nobody to tell you and validate it for you. You'll know.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
But man, most of this stuff right now, most of the stuff you're saying, the information, it's just distractions, bro. You
Yes.
know, that how they have, concocted this these mediums, these screens that are in our hands.
Mm.
Um, it's a huge distraction and confuser.
Yeah.
And it's like a drug, literally like a drug, the way our brain reacts
Yeah.
to that resolution and those things happening in front of our eyes, and that it's an addiction, and there's a lot of companies finally now, internationally at least, that are beginning to ban these devices for our children up until a certain age, which I think is a great idea, and I think is late. I think in time this has been more or just as damaging as drugs, if not more, but in a different way. It's a really subtle way,
Okay.
but manifests in huge ways.
Yes.
From light things to all the way to folks taking their own life because of their lack of self-worth. That comes about in watching these false images, or from bullying, or from all the things. So um, I think it's important that we, especially with our kids, that
Right.
we,
Absolutely.
I know we're all busy and we're looking for ways to, for lack of a better word, pacify our kids so we can have them in it. But the last thing you want to put in front of them is that phone or screen.
Mhm.
We used to think that the TV was the devil. It's been replaced.
Right.
The devil on steroids.
Right, on steroids. Brother Hassan, we appreciate you so much. Once you drop that book, and we want to bring you back and talk about that curriculum. And if you can have some of the participants that want to share their feeling about the curriculum, and just keep this platform, just keep sharing your gift with us.
Oh yeah, man. All praise to the one, bro. As long as we here, we're gonna
Oh
try
yeah,
to
yeah,
represent, man. Because
yeah.
what when we leave, what will we have left behind other
There you
than the
go.
gigantic pile of SHIT? You
Right. Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
that's figuratively and literally. So
Right.
I'm always thinking about when I'm standing in front of my Creator in judgment. If I'm asked, well, what did you do? What did you do with the gifts that I've given you? I'm working on that. And if
Absolutely.
you see me and I'm coming up short, brother, I hope that you will pull my coat and say, hey, E, come on, man.
Yeah.
Because I'm fallible too. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So I
Respect.
appreciate
Respect.
you, bro, for doing what you do and always supporting me.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Oh, and I got a photo too of the set, man. That's iconic. That I want to slide to you too. Don't let me forget to get that to you.
I appreciate your respect, man. We just heard from Elijah Hassan, and drop that site again so people can go and look at those videos and purchase or whatever it needs to be done.
Yeah,
And
well, you can go to ElijahHassan.com and click on Shine Runner, but Shine Runner is my artist name or persona I'm under, and that's
I know.
SHINERUNNA, like moonshine, run and shine,
Right, right,
fast
right,
cars and the brown liquor, man. Well, it used to be clear liquor back then, but
right.
uh yeah, just visit that. There's also, the YouTube channel. If you're having trouble finding that Shine Runner, spelled the same way, YouTube channel, you can go on the website and it'll take you right to it.
All right, we appreciate you. Be blessed. Keep sharing that gift. Straight Talk TV people, we want to thank you. Today we was doing with attorney Ernest Warren. We had a young man got a for Fathers for Life program, Nick Wright, and we just heard from an artist, Elijah Hassan. Remember, people, Straight Talk TV. As we close down the show, but not the platform, is the show that cares about you, where the information comes from you, the people, to the people. Be blessed. Tell somebody you love them and pop a smile. It ain't gonna hurt. Even if they don't pop it back, you sent that energy out. Talk to y'all soon. Go ahead, Mr. Engineer.
1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, ready.
All right. There it is.